get an agenda. Okay. And all y'all got one more. Okay.
Or if you want to have it.
Go on now.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. Okay.
Thank you.
We need it. I think I will have. And I've already done mine, okay. I've already done mine. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is a good afternoon, is it not?
Good afternoon.
Okay, there you go. Now, I've got some people here. I'd like to hear you at least. We would like to now call this first absentee meeting for the May 14th, 2019 election to order. And at this time, I would ask that our Pastor Larry Hayes would offer us an invocation.
Let us stand. Father, we ask and seek thy wisdom and guidance. We ask you to place it afresh on this board, the members, Lord, that we would do the things and decisions made would be under thy guidance for the very best of Layton County and each and every citizen. Father, we desire this. We ask you to do it. And we ask that you would reach down and touch everyone here, that we would all have the same purpose in heart and mind for the betterment of Layton County. For these things we ask in your Son's name, our Savior, and all of God's people. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Pastor. I would like at this time for the board to look at the agenda, and I would like a motion to accept it as it is, or if there needs to be, you see a need for any changes.
I have a question. That's okay. It says the prior meeting video CDs on file at Board of Elections office. That's our meeting from last week.
Yeah.
Is it true that the meetings are going to be posted on the Board of Elections site so that anybody can view them online, like the county commissioners do? When will that begin?
I sent them on last week over there.
Okay. So will anybody that wants to view it, can they view it from this Board of Elections site, or will they have to view it from the county commissioner's site, or do you know?
I think it's going to be with the county commissioner's site.
Okay. If possible, I would like for it to be linked to the Board of Elections site.
Okay.
And also, I would like it if you would start putting the agenda for the meetings on that site, at least by the Friday before we meet, so that the public will have access to know what we're going to do at our meetings, and so will we, so that we can, you know, see what we're going to be doing. If that's okay with you, Madam Chair.
I was going to address that, yes.
Okay.
That is, I would prefer a packet being mailed out to us with the agenda, or either posted online, so that we are aware of what's going on beforehand. I myself personally, I hate to come into a meeting and everything is new there for me. I like to know ahead of time.
Okay.
You know.
Well, the meeting Thursday.
Yeah.
We're gonna take care of that today.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, board members? Okay. So, could I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I move we approve the agenda.
I second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the agenda. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Hearing none, the agenda stands approved. Okay, the first item is prior meeting video CD on file at the Board of Elections office. Ms. Shepherd had questions about that, so that's clarified now. The next order of business is old business and new business.
And I will have to say for myself this time, this is an agenda. This is one that was used before. So if any changes need to be made, I need let know, because I'm not just developed the agenda, just using one that was previously used.
Okay.
So, do we have any old business? Is there any old business you're aware of we need to discuss?
The only old business we have is that the Abbott's precinct, it was tabled at the last meeting, and I have that further down.
Yeah.
Okay, so we take action on that.
And it was, the board and myself made a site visit, and they approved it to be used this time. And
That's the only old business that I
know. Yes, I know.
Alright. Okay, next, item number 2, local issues and concerns, and the director updates. Okay, as Ms. McCoy just stated, the board, along with her and a few other people and members of the Adams precinct, we went out to the site and we viewed the site and we saw that repairs had been made, and we see that the site is usable. So it is, we decided that we would not be moving it, and that that was approved. As far as I'm concerned with that, we need to vote on that.
We don't need to vote, but we're not going to retain it.
All right, may I have a motion, please?
I make a motion that we retain usage of the Abbott site as its present site.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and properly second that we will retain the Abbott site as is and use it. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign, hearing none. The Abbotsburg site will be continue to be used.
Madam Chairman, I do have one comment about that is, Reverend Hayes visited with us and he had a concern because of the amount of rain. It was very mushy there close to the road.
Yeah.
And there was a blank space between where the ramp begins and the street, which would be difficult for anybody to access with a wheelchair. But the Democratic Party has offered to make the improvements there as a service to the community, to either provide a sidewalk or a boardwalk, some sort that would make wheelchairs have full access to the site.
Right.
And they're just going to do that, so there'll be no cost to the board or the county to do that.
Okay. And also, I had spoken to Mr. Rhodey and Mr. Wright, and they said that the boardwalk would probably be one of the things that they would do. Also, they may even consider, if possible, hauling in some dirt to help take care of some of that.
We have some volunteers in the Democratic Party that will provide the labor.
Right. So, okay. All right. The next item under number 2 is to update the board on the one-stop opening, and that is
One stop starts here tomorrow. It's gonna be 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, from April 24th through May 10th.
Are there any questions?
Did you say 8:30 to 5?
8:30 to 5.
Madam Chairman, I have a couple of questions, and you can tell me if this is the proper time or not. I have a couple of questions about the voting procedures themselves that I would like to ask, but if you'd rather we wait till after closed session to deal with that, I can.
That'd be fine.
That-
We'll wait till after closed
Go
session. All right. Any questions about the update for the one-stop opening tomorrow? Any concerns? Okay.
They'll be right here in this,
Yes.
here in this room,
Not in
It's
this
gonna
room.
be-
Not in this room.
Not in this room, on the other side.
on the other side.
Right.
And they will be directed to that spot.
Yeah, we signed out. We just haven't put anything on because it's so early in the
Yeah.
day.
Okay.
And we're gonna put signs down at the library directing them here.
Yeah, because most people are used to going to the library for that, so,
So we have 3 signs for each direction,
okay.
to direct them down here.
Has that been, given to the media?
Yes,
Okay. Both Bladen Online and Bladen Journal?
I know Blade Journal has it.
Okay.
I'll check with me.
Yeah, just give them a call.
It's on
Just
our
give them a call.
It's on our website too.
Okay. And also, do you, may I ask this question, Ms. McCoy? Do you deal with any other source of media in the county? Like when, issues like, not issues, but information like the voting and that kind, do you get that to the, radio stations and like?
I've never known it to be done.
We'll discuss that later as well.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, number 3, the action plan, actions, and the plan is the review and approval of, the mayor absentees.
Before we do that, Mr. Boyd, can you tell us how many have been returned?
Yeah, I got that.
Can you explain to us the law about processing absentee ballots when all the board members of the board are of one party?
I was just informed from the state, that has never been addressed being one party, but as long as, they said as long as we have a quorum, that we can take action on things.
So, and who from the state told you that? Because that's not what the law says.
Because my understanding is there has to be someone from the other party, even though we don't have a board member here yet, we need at least a party chairperson for the county needs to be.
There has to be an observer from the other party who's willing to take responsibility for observing and signing off as representative of that party. That's what the law says. And the reason I asked about the number is I think we would probably feel more comfortable before we process any absentee ballots if we had legal advice to make sure we're doing it correctly. We do not want to do anything wrong because, as we all know, eyes across the country are on the board of elections in Blaine County, and we want to make certain that we do everything right. So I think what we need to do is ask for, as my understanding is, we have no board attorney. We have to rely on the county's attorney for legal advice. So what I would like to suggest is that before we process any absentee ballots, that we just table it for this meeting. We have a legal opinion and possibly a lawyer here with us to make sure we're doing it properly. If the board's in agreement, I'll make a motion to that effect.
Do we have any concerns beforehand?
Well, you mentioned a representative from the other party chair. Since Mr. McDuffie is here, could he do that if he's willing?
Wayne Schaefer is the chairman of the public forum.
Oh,
All I know for sure is what the law says. The law says in the event that only one party is represented on the board, that there has to be, that the chairman of the other party can serve as the legal observer. But I don't know what that, what that requires him to do. I don't know what it requires us to do, or what paperwork has to be done and signed. And I don't know how Mr. Schaefer feels about that, but I would like to have a little bit more information before we take that process on to make sure that we're doing it correctly. If that's okay with you.
I think that we should do
Absolutely.
that.
And I can't imagine there have been an extreme number of ballots returned, as we only had 40 requested at the last meeting, is what you told us.
well, we have 14 returned.
14 returned.
Yeah.
Now, the last time I attended the Board of Elections meeting, they processed over 200 at one time. So I think if we wait until next week and do them all at one time, that should not be an overwhelming number, if you're in agreement with that.
I concur.
And we hope that we're going to have an attorney present at our meeting on Thursday who can explain the process to us, and you're welcome to come if you'd like, and he can inform all of us as to what we're going to have to do to make sure it's done properly, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely, and can I be notified about that?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
Most definitely.
Yeah, if you will make sure that Ms. McCoy has your contact information, we'll make sure that she keeps you informed. Because and you gentlemen might have some more information than we do, but we do not know at this point how long it will be before we have Republican members. And we just want to be extra cautious with what we're doing, if you're in agreement with that.
That's very fair.
And your name again, sir?
First name Wayne, W-A-Y-N-E, last name Schaefer, that's C-H-A-E-F-F-E-R.
Okay. And you are the chairperson of Bladen County Republican
Yes,
Party?
ma'am.
Okay. All right, thank you. So can I get a motion to table the review and approval of the absentee ballots until our next meeting with all the, circumstances that we just stated, with the, hopefully having an attorney in place.
We should have an attorney here with us.
Right. Thursday.
I move that we table the processing of absentee ballots until the next absentee meeting, which will be on the 29th, according to this schedule. And we'll give you a copy of this meeting schedule.
Is it
29th?
It says 29th.
It's a Tuesday.
I mean, not 28.
29th is Tuesday.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, wouldn't the 30th be Tuesday?
I thought so too.
30th, because today's 23rd. But this says 29th, which would be next Monday. Shouldn't it be
The
Tuesday?
30th is Tuesday.
So what day are we doing?
The
The
30th.
30th.
We're gonna do it Tuesday the 30th?
At 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So, I made the motion.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we will table the review and approval of absentee ballots until our next, absentee ballot meeting date, which is April the 30th. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign, hearing none. The motion stands, so we will table that until the next meeting. Okay, we're down now to, anything else before I move on? We're down now to item number, yes ma'am.
So, we're gonna try to get the attorney here Thursday or next?
Thursday.
Tuesday.
Thursday.
Thursday,
At 9
for
o'clock.
our meeting.
Okay.
We're gonna try.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Item number 4, individuals or delegations wishing to address the board.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
In the previous elections, we've always had our county today put up a tent in case of bad weather such as rain. Here we don't have, or do we have a place that our county can put up a tent to shelter them from the elements?
You talking for the early voting?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any place? I mean,
I missed the first part of that.
Was there a place where candidates would be able, or parties, if a party wanted to put up a tent, would be able to put up a tent for early voting?
Well, what we plan to use the places out front here on this side of the building. And we have some parking on the side. The buffer zone is gonna be right out the door and where we're gonna have the curbside voting. So I don't know if, I guess along the edge of the building or something.
As long as it has to be, how far away from the buffer zone? Is it 50 feet?
Well, the buffer zone can be no less than 25 to 50.
is
Well,
there?
that-
I think the law is 50, isn't it, from those?
I believe it is too. I
And
believe
it's
it's
50 feet from the entrance, unless it's tenement, especially.
Well, it's a good, 50 is a good number, but it can be 25 to 50.
I guess the question is, with this building, is there enough property either on this end or that end for candidates or parties to put up tents?
Can I address the board just 1 second? I work with Hilton Realty, and the property on this end of the building starts right where the building ends. So that property down there is private property, and we have it under contract.
So it cannot be used.
So we can't use it because it's got to be in the same condition the day we wrote the contract as the day we sell it. And if we have a lot of traffic on it, then we're going to have to address traffic on that lot down there.
So there should not even be parking there, would you agree?
Do what?
There should not even be people parking there.
No.
So maybe you guys can tape it off or something.
We can do
Well,
that, and the
yeah.
maintenance has put a driveway all the way around the building. from
But that driveway is on
That's
that
it.
property over there. The
Oh,
property,
okay.
actually, the county property ends at the end of the building. No, we're just not even 6 inches off the property line.
So there can be no parking or anything
No.
down there. So we need to check on this end of the building and see if there's additional property owned by
If
the
the property
county.
had not been under contract, we could have probably worked out something with the landowner to use it. But since it's under contract, it's, we're gonna be closing very soon on it. The usage of it's prohibited. Yeah, there's just, and also the fact of using it in something like that, you know, if somebody gets bumped or something by a car,
Liability.
it's a liability issue too.
So, Ms. Boyd, what we'll need to do is talk to Greg Martin and ask about the ownership of the property on this end of the building. If the county owns it, then it would be available for use for that.
Okay, so you're saying that the driveway on
The driveway is on the property next
Cannot be
door.
used.
Can't be used.
In other words, the building sits on the property. When you go from the building, that's the next door property.
Privately owned, cannot be used or
Yes.
driven on.
Okay, so we need to put,
That needs to be roped off as well, I would think.
Definitely, because we want to
Mhm.
protect that property.
okay, thank you.
I'm sorry to inform you of that, but I realized I really thought the boat was gonna be in here and that doorway there was what was gonna be used until, it was said it was gonna be on that end of the building, and that kind of made me wonder if it was on the other end of the
My
building.
understanding is this cannot be used because of that. Am I correct in that? That's what I was told.
Well, the machines
Before.
are over here and.
Yeah, I was told during the election time last year that voting cannot be held here because of that.
Okay. All right.
Because of that, what you mean, that, the fenced off area?
Yeah, that fenced off area is where absentee ballots are processed.
Oh,
Yeah,
In the past, have been processed and tabulated.
the machine is in there.
We're not gonna be
Okay.
doing
Oh,
that
no.
until election day this year.
no.
So could you check on that and see if this property will be available? Because we've had some candidates and parties inquiring already about a place to set up tent for voting.
Okay,
So I understand that we're gonna find out.
Yes.
She'll find out from Greg Martin.
Another question I have. The access to the Veterans Administration here, Homeland Security purposes, what are we gonna do about that?
Homeland Security audit suggestion was that Veterans Affairs be relocated and this building be secured solely for elections. And we have, I think as a board, we're gonna discuss asking the county commissioners to do all the items that were on the audit. And I don't remember, I don't have a list in front of me, but I was at the board elections meeting when that audit was, when the board considered that audit, they went through it line by line, item by item, and there was, I'm gonna say 30 to 40 items that were recommended to make elections secure.